Hello, Professor Jessy Abraham, and thank you for making the time to meet with us today.
Hello, I am very happy that you are asking me questions today, in the afternoon today.
What is early childhood development and why is it important?
All human beings are born as infants who need to be cared for, and then they mature into adults. So, unlike other animals, human child needs nurturing, caring, and support for longer time. In that process, the early childhood is the period from birth to about 8 years, where they are developing to a greater extent, and that development influences rest of the life also. So it is a kind of foundational period. For a building, you need to have foundation. Similarly, for a life which is fruitful, fulfilling, we need to have the foundational years, that is the beginning years, well nurtured, cared for, and therefore there is this branch of a knowledge which is dealing with the children who are in the age group of 0 to 8, and we have them maybe in the initial years from home. The care is from the home or some institutions which take care of them, and then later on in the preschool, and then in the initial school ages, school K1 onwards, the formal education. So we need to look into the care part, and then the informal, non-formal education part, and then the formal education. So we have various professionals looking into dealing with these children, and the training, education of the people involved. All that is covered in this particular field of study, early childhood care education. I am so glad that you are also interested in asking me this question.
What inspired you to start your career in early childhood development?
My career is actually in education. I am not totally into ECC only, but I joined Jamia in 2002, some way back. At that time, before me joining, they have in Jamia, they have a bachelor's degree in this area, which is called Bachelor of Education, B.Ed, in nursery education. Nursery here means preschool. Preschool is other word for preschool is nursery in India. So because I am teaching the B.Ed students who are going to be teachers of the preschool, I started developing my expertise further and further in this area. So actually I started my career not with the early childhood specialization to begin with. My PhD was in peer counseling. That was an area which is related to educational psychology. I was teaching method of teaching science and all in other places. After joining Jamia, because I was having this expertise that my bachelor's and master's are from home science. Here in other countries they call it as home economics. So because I have this background, I was interested with the course B.Ed Nursery, and then I started developing expertise in this field further. Though I had some basic understanding about child development, child psychology and psychology, and my PhD was related to educational psychology, but I started working seriously in the field of early childhood care education when I joined Jamia. And later on, in 2007, I also was the first founder director of the daycare center. Daycare means for those children who are aged 6 months to 3 years, those who are not in the preschool. There are some children who need daycare support. So for Jamia, we have such a center which was started in 2007. And I was the founder director. It was in addition to my work here teaching job, I had done that extra work for some time. Then it was handed over to somebody else. It was in fact established by me. And then later on, I did many projects and also guided PhDs under me in the area of early childhood care education. So I have done research, I've done field work, and I've had some kind of understanding about the field of early childhood care education.
What do you think about early childhood education and its impact in the future, especially with the technology and AI advancing?
Yeah, there are 2-3 aspects of it. One is when we means parents or the caregivers or teachers, if they need to know something more about a particular thing, they can always seek help from AI. So that, it is like an advisor you get information and maybe take knowledgeable decisions. That's one part. Second thing, our children, the small kids themselves are fascinated to technology. They would like to watch some program in the digital devices available, if it is there, or through the television or some media, social media, and the matter available to them is influencing the children to a greater extent. So we need to know what is actually interesting to the children. So because we are people who are going to deal with children, we should know what is interesting to them. That way we need to know. And then another thing is, these kind of media exposure increasingly spending more time with the devices might affect eyesight, might affect critical thinking ability and other abilities of the children. We need to safeguard that part also. Because in my childhood, we didn't have a calculator. So every calculation I used to do mentally. And every phone number I used to remember in my brain. Now I have this device which has the number. I can easily get things processed with the help of many software. So I'm not using that aspect, that technical ability which I had otherwise. So think of the children, they are born with all these devices, so they are not using all those processes. But then those things also need to be looked into. How we can cultivate in children ability to discern one thing from the other, right from the wrong, critically evaluate available possibilities. So all that is to be included in the curriculum, so that children are not just copying and pasting, but they need to know what to do, what to be taken. Because even in AI, they get, if you ask a question, we get lots of answers. Sometimes it hallucinates, it creates a story and give. Who will tell them what is right, what is wrong? So we need to know. We need to have understanding about the concept clearly. For that, real life experiences, exposure, etc. cannot be ignored. That will help them understand what is right, what will be beneficial in the real world, all those things. But it is not enough if we just give digital exposure. So the digital exposure, media, etc. are important because children are already using it. But we should have curricula where experiential learning, practical activities, hands-on activities are encouraged, so that we cannot just do away with it. And then even AI cannot be created without human intervention. So we need to know how to make use of AI in the ethically correct way, so that we can also contribute. Our children, future generation, will be able to contribute, learn further and improve. That is all. I think I covered your question completely. Thank you.
What is one piece of advice you would give to the young generation and how they can help prepare their kids for the future?
When we want to prepare children for future, understanding about the realities is very important. So that means reading books, gathering information is very important to understand what exactly is the situation and understand how we can make use of the available resources to the best possible way. That is one thing. And at any point of time, even in the history, if we just idle and if we are not acting upon whatever is resources available or knowledge available, then we cannot progress. So just spending time idling with some social media or something will not help anybody. So last year, I think Oxford Dictionary had added that word, what is it, brain rot or something for this just checking time on the media material and wasting. So that kind of waste should be avoided. That is, hard work cannot be substituted. We need to work hands-on, work hard, make use of the resources properly, and we need to have some wisdom or insight about what is the best possible opportunity and grab it, make use of it. Then only we can progress. That's my advice to the younger generation.